You can go ahead, Harika. You can share the screen and we'll just start.
Okay. Hey guys, my name is Harika. I'll be your instructor for today. In this session, I am going to give a brief overview of Linux. Okay. In this session, are you guys aware of Linux? Anyone of?
Say yes or no. What? Okay, most of the guys is not aware of this Linux operating system.
Okay. Okay, no problem, Prashant. It doesn't matter if you are a beginner or you aware of already aware of, or I mean, you are already working with Linux. I'm just giving the brief overview. Let me share my screen. Guys, able to see my screen? Okay. Uh, so let's start with Linux. Linux means I'm just giving brief about birth of Linux. When did Linux was born, and get various distribution. We have different versions of different variations of Linux. I'm going to tell you different some distributions of Linux and why did this Linux become popular, and also basic Linux commands. Okay, most of the people we thought like Linux is a operating system, but it's not a operating system. It's just a kernel. It developed based on the Unix operating system. Okay. Uh, let's start with birth of Linux. Birth of Linux. In na- in 1960s, there were two people like Switchy and Thomson. They were working on AT&T. You people are aware of AT&T, right? It's a big product company. So they were working with AT&T company. They developed a basic C language and Unix operating system. The C language we all aware of, right? The C language and Unix operating system, but that Unix operating system not as friendly like nowadays we are using Linux. It's a just source code of Unix operating system. Then AT&T started giving the free version, free of source code, and other companies developers get it together and developed a operating system and bring back to the AT&T. In 1970s, AT&T started selling, and they charged for the this operating system. So people did not like this. Why? Because they developed this operating system, but AT&T earning the money. So then people like IBM and Solaris, HP, these companies started developing their own operating system, like IBM. Like IBM developed their own operating system. AIX, and HP developed their own operating system, I guess UX. Solaris developed their own operating system like Sun OS. In mid of 90, they developed all this operating system, and they are using their own operating system. But so people using their own operating system, other versions, like since there are many versions, we have IBM has a AX, HP has a UX, and Sun Solaris has a Solaris company has a Sun OS. So these are belongs to same Unix OS. It was becoming little bit problematic because AX has different commands, UX has different commands. So so it was unnecessarily confusing. If people want to switch to some one operating system to another operating system, they would have to take a training, or unnecessarily they are confusing with the commands and how they are using. So, in 1980, Richards came something like a GNU project. GNU project. It's a free version project. Okay, and with Linux kernel. What now is what we are using. Okay, this is as of now. This complete how Linux was born. Okay. Coming to the and the GNU project is a Linux. Both are free version. We have paid versions also, but we have so many free versions. But in Windows we don't have the free versions. Correct. Okay, so different versions of different distributions of Linux are Red Hat as Red Hat. Famous version is Red Hat. Famous when I say famous means it's a most popularly used and the most stable version that developed by Red Hat. It's a commercial based, and Red Hat people also giving free version which is called CentOS, which which is faster comparatively other other OS, but it has no support. And other is the Fedora. Likewise, we have Debian, Ubuntu. Like this, those are the other distributions of Linux. So, whereas coming to features, we can, as compared to Windows and Mac, we can easily update our Linux systems. Like by using a single command, we can easily update. Okay, it's not like Windows or it's not like Windows or Mac OS. Okay. Another feature is the free version. It's a free software is free, and we have the main feature of the Linux is we have the access to the source code. I mean, we can take the source code and we can develop as per our requirement.
So based on the kernel operating system, you can take the kernel and you can develop the own operating system based on your company needs. That is the Linux operating system. most helpful thing is whenever you talk about Mac and Windows operating system, it does not allow you to change the operating system source code. So based on your requirement. So but Linux give you the opportunity to change the source code and create your own operating system based on your needs and can modify it. You can do that. Please go ahead.
Yeah, and basic network means we don't have the connection to physical server, but we can connect. How we can connect? Through SSH, secure socket connection. We can connect through SSH connections. Like we can, and also in Linux, most one more feature is the malware protection. It's not like that our Linux systems doesn't hack by anyone, but it's compared to other OS, Mac or Windows, it's hard to and also it doesn't require any antivirus. But in Windows, we basically first we install the operating system. We required a antivirus, correct?
Yes. Yeah, why? Because it is a base operating system is a very sound operating system, which consumes and mostly encrypted up everything. So that could be the reason the hacker does not have a capability easily hack your operating system, which is called Linux. So whether compared with the Mac and the Windows operating system, to protect your operating system, you must have an antivirus for each and every server. So there also you can save your money. Okay, so please.
Okay, that is the brief overview of Linux. Guys, do you have any questions? So let me go to these commands. Linux is basically why this is become most popular means it's a CLI, command line interface. Okay, and we have a GUI based, I mean graphical interface also, but it's not that much friendly. It's a user friendly graphical interface, but nobody can use the Linux as a graphical. We use by simply using the small commands we can execute whatever we want in Linux. That is why it become a most popular operating system. So if I don't have the so coming to basic commands, if this is my Windows machine. So if I click on desktop, I simply came to know I am into the desktop folder. Likewise, if I click on documents, by looking at on top of it, I simply came to know where I am. Correct. Like that, in Linux, there is a command. What was it? It's a
PWD.
PWD. Yeah, PWD means present working directory. So this is my Linux machine, and if I enter pwd command, I am into the home and docker directory. What is directory means? In Linux we have a folders, right? We have a here I have a custom office templates, mobiles, all these are folders. These are called directories in Linux. Okay.
So in Linux, folder is nothing but you do call it as a direct.
Directory, that's it. Okay, I just in Windows by simply if you go to the this document folder, we all the files have to be listed, but in Linux it doesn't. So if you want to what are the files and what are the directories, what are the files and what are the directories are there in your directory. If you want to know those, then you have to enter the command ls, list. Okay, so in my folder I have these directories and these files. So ls we can use so many ls ls hyphen l hyphen l means it's giving the long listing of your files and directory. ls hyphen l. So it will tell you time or at what time the folder or directory have been created. Okay, and also the user or group of the directory, and what are the permissions these directories and files have. So here we have two kinds of, I mean, you guys able to see two colors, right? Blue and white. So here blue color doesn't means it's a directory. On the left corner we have a D symbol, correct?
Yes, it is
So
called
that,
as a D start from the D. That is the defaultly we do call it as a directory. It shows the directory.
yeah, if nothing will shows means it's a file. And like we have a hidden files also. If you want to see the hidden files, ls-al hidden. These so before I entered ls-l, it listed out the only directories and the files, not the hidden files. How we came to know the hidden files and hidden directories? How those files are differentiated from normal directories and normal files means it starts with the dot symbol. Here we have the dot bash lecture, dot ansible, dot conflict, dot cache. The blue color or dotted blue one are the direct hidden directories, and the dotted white color are the hidden files. Clear, guys? I just told you only two commands. PWD. It means it will tell you present where you are working. Okay, and also ls, most important. These are the basic and most important commands. Like we have so many in ls. So if you don't know about that command, you want to learn about that command, then you have a man page for every command in Linux, like help. Okay, man space ls gives the ls list of directory contents. It will list the contents of the directory. ls we have so many synopsis like hyphen a, all, do not ignore, entire, starts with as I told you, right? If you want to know hidden directories also, we need to mention hyphen a. Like it will show you hidden files and directories as well. Like B and capital B, it will give all the synopsis of ls command. Okay. To quit from this page, we need to enter Q. Like if you want to know the man pwd, I don't know about the pwd command. I just want to take a help from the, I just need to learn about pwd command, then just enter man pwd. So it will give the print name of the current working directory, and l use pwd from the environment even it contains the symbolic links. If you want to quit from this queue. So
So
clear,
if you
guys?
want to understand the particular command deep dive, just you can go to the man hyphen the particular command. It will give you the exact details about how many times you can utilize the particular command. So what is the synopsis of it? How it can be utilized in your real time? So that can it will be given in detail, like, with the example as well. So how can you get that using the man command? Man with the particular command which you would like to know about it. Okay.
So next, my command is clear. So as of now, I entered in my screen. You are able to see all these. So I don't want. I just want to clear my terminal. Then I just enter clear command. It will clear your screen. So in Windows, if you want to switch from one folder to other folder, we have a graphical interface, right? We just go into that parent folder and we just click on the particular folder where we want to go. Correct. So likewise, if you want to move from one directory to other directory, there is a command cd. Cd means change directory. So if I want to go to images, just click on the CD images. You are into the images tab. If you have a doubt, just go and check the PWD. PWD means what? Present working directory. What? Yeah, right now I am into the CD home Docker. Under Docker, I am into the images directory. Okay, so in Windows, if I don't want to, if I go back to the desktop directory, desktop folder, I just click on the desktop directory. Like in Linux, we can just click on the CD space 2 periods. Okay. Now where I am, I'm back to my home Docker directory. Clear? If you want to move forward, just cd name of the directory. If you want to go forward, cd space dot. I mean 2 periods. If you want to move multiple, then cd // then now I am into the home. Clear, guys? Okay. So coming to the file system, we have a, if you want to look, we have slash. So Linux hierarchy system will start with the slash means it's a root folder. It doesn't have, it's an empty folder. It's a whole root, var, op, dev, etc, all these folders. So inside etc folder, we have all system related configuration files, like which kernel it was, and which OS it is. So if you don't know it is which distribution of OS, you just go and click cat to the. So it will say CentOS Linux release 7.7. It says CentOS distribution 7.7 version. Okay, all these type of configurations. It does support. It has the SSH and it has the SSL, SSSD. It has M for updating everything. All system configuration, all system related information under will be under /etc folder. So I want to clear this, just enter in the clear command. Okay. So like we have a var. Var means inside the var all the logs, system related logs. We have all here we have all type of logs, what we did and whether we have the mail communication, all these type of folders we have under the var. That we have a users means all user related details we have under, and under user directory, and also lib directory, all libraries related libraries, package related libraries or under lib directory. Like that we have so many directories. So the main hierarchy will start with the /. Okay. Clear guys so far? Okay. Tell me as of now, how many commands we learn? So we just learned about PWD command. PWD means it will tell us where we are, I mean present working directory, and also ls, the list of directories and folders. It will display us the list of directories and folders. If you want to know, we have a different options in the ls. If you want to know the hidden files, we just give ls-l. Like ls-l will give the long listing. ls-ltr will give the long listing in a recursive reverse order. Means this file, this temp folder created on December 31st, and this YP directory created on April. Like that, it will clear. It will show us like in a recursive order. Okay. And one more important command is the cd. So another command is clear, pwd ls clear and CD. So in Windows, if you want to install any softwares or any other tools, it will allows you or not as a normal user. It won't write it. We need it will ask for the administrator
You must
username
be
and
as the
password. Like that, it will
administrator
ask
to
you.
install any third-party tools.
Yes, correct. So if you want to use any, if you want to use any softwares or any, I mean, administrator of the Linux is the root. So you want to switch from one. So presently I'm with what user? I connected with what user? I don't know. Just if I want to check who I am means there is a command who am I will tell you with what user you connected. So currently in the for this mission I connected with the Docker user. So if I want to switch from Docker to root user, administrator of the Linux, root user, just sudo sudo switch user. It will ask for the password. Now who am I? I'm the root user.
So in Windows, root is nothing but an administrator. So administrator might have all the privileges to create, delete, alter, update, whatever it may be. So the other than the root user, they might only have the permissions to to read the files and read the directories only. So whereas coming to the root user, you might get all the permissions in terms of delete, update, install, whatever it may be, you will get all the permissions. So for that, you must, if you want to use the root user, just you have to use the sudo. Whether it may be Linux, whether it may be CentOS or Ubuntu, it doesn't matter. You have to use the sudo. Sudo will take you into the root user.
So if I want to back to the Docker user, I sudo
The command is su. Su is nothing but switch user. Switch user will take you to the other user.
So if you want to go to only for the root user, we need to use the sudo command. If you want to switch for other users, just to use the switch user space name of the user.
Just create one user and try to switch into that user.
Okay. So just if you want to create any user, just mention add user.
The name of the user.
The name of the user. Whether it won't, it will say permission denied. Why? Because I am into the Docker user. For creating the users and the groups, changing the permissions, everything we should have to do the root user only. Okay. If I mention sudo for this, sudo add user Azure DevOps, or you can switch to the root, then we can add the user. Okay, the user have been created. Where these users have been created, all this information under etc.
So once you create the user, the default is stored into the etc folder. So there you can see that what are the users is available. So what are the permissions that particular user has.
cat UTC users.
Excuse me for the password.
Oh, sorry. File. So as now I created the Azure DevOps. Okay, this is the my Azure DevOps. So if you want to mention your password, if you want to give a password to your user, then just give the name of the user. Password, whatever password. Re-enter the password. Okay. So now I want to switch the Azure DevOps user. I'm into the Azure DevOps user. Who am I? Clear?
See, now she is into the newly created user. So I will just go back and add this user into sudo file so that this particular user also might have the root
Yeah. So, let me go to first Azure. Go back to Azure DevOps user. So from here, I want to go to the root user. Sudo Azure DevOps is not into the sudoers files. Okay, what it is saying, it is not allowing us to switch to the root user. If you want to give the root permissions to this user, we need to add the etc sudoers file. ప్రశాంత్ ఇప్పుడే చెప్పమంటారా అది సుడోస్ అదంతా ఎడిట్
So tell them the folder path where all the passwords stored and where all the sudo files stored. So from there you can change. So it is CentOS. So but for the concept, no, CentOS.
So if you want, yeah.
Operating system basis change.
So if we want to move from one folder, one directory to other directory, we are using cd command, right? So if we want to change it, so here I have directories and files as well. White colors are the files. So if I want to change, if I want to make any changes into the file, then we have a vim. We can use vim or cat. If you want to just read the content of the file, then we use the cat command. Cat, name of the file.
Yeah.
It will
so cat command will give you the option to read the entire particular file over the screen only. So if you want to edit the file, so if you want to go with the Windows, if you want to write something, what you have to do, you have to use the editors. What are the editors available in Windows? Notepad, no WordPad, Notepad plus plus. These are the editor files. Whereas coming to the Linux operating system, all the editors are the open sources. Okay. So here by default open source is available called as a Vim. Vim is the open source editor. So by using the Vim, you can particularly it will allow you to change any content. If you would like to add something to the particular file, you can use the Vim. So Vim is the again open source editor.
Yeah, when you want to click the PI editor,
Yeah, there are n
many
number of
editors are there.
open
Most
source
of the
editors.
editor are the Vim.
Yeah, which is a very what I can say friendly editor is the Vim.
Yeah. So if you want to insert something, I just enter. I'm into the that file. If you want to edit something, just we have to enter the I. Then it will take you into the interactive mode.
So you can see
In
the
Vim,
insert.
there are different kinds of mode: execution mode, interactive mode.
Okay, here you could see the two users. What are the two users available? Root and Docker. So this is the sudoers file. Sudoers file is nothing but who are, let's assume that we have 10 users. Among these 10 users, these two, root and Docker, both have the sudo permissions. Now we are adding, just now we have created another user called Azure DevOps. This user is giving the root permissions. You mean to say that this newly created user also all the permissions in terms of delete, update, read, whatever it may be. So to get all the permissions, we must be as a root user. So just like a administrator in Windows, we do call it as. సో ఇప్పుడు మనము ఏదైనా ఇన్స్టాల్ చేయాలంటే ఏం చేస్తాము విండోస్లో జస్ట్ రైట్ క్లిక్ అండ్ రన్ యాజ్ అడ్మినిస్ట్రేటర్ వాట్ ఇట్ డస్ even though if you don't have the permissions it will give you the permission to install any particular software to give them all the privileges to you as a user just like here also you have to be add as a user into the sudoers file in the sudoers file once you add the user as a sudo then you will get to act as a sudo root user. So now she is adding the user into the sudoers file to become as a root user of this particular user.
Yeah, now Azure DevOps also have the permissions. I mean, if you want to move from Azure DevOps to other users, and if you want to run as a root user, install any packages, or if you want to execute anything like a root user, now Azure DevOps have all privileges that root has. Okay, so I enter. I gave all permissions. Now I just want to save this file. To save this file, just enter escape :W Q. Okay,
This is the very
save
mandatory. Just :W Q and explanatory.
explanatory means you are exiting forcefully.
So if you want to exit without saving, just :W explanatory. If you want to save with exit, WQ.
So again, I am going back to the sudoers file. So I don't want to. I edited something like I inserted some blah 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 blah, but I don't want to save this. I just enter escape :Q. It won't save. It just exited. Okay.
Save with exit WQ. Exit without saving Q. That's it.
This is all about editor. We have different options. So many, not different. We have so many options in Vim editor. If you want to switch, if you want to delete particular lines, 4 lines, then escape 4DD. It will delete all top 4 lines. If you want to copy particular lines, we have an option called P. If you want to switch from top to anywhere to bottom of the line, shift to G. If you want to edit only particular, we have a command called $S. What are the word you want to replace with other word? We have so many options have. So just Google those options. Okay.
So what are the things you would like to know of the particular command? Just use the man. So the man will give all the details about the particular command. So now let's talk about the open source utility. Here, if you want to install, so let's take a Windows machine. If you would like to install any exe file, or if you would like to install anything, how do you do it? Let's assume that take a Windows machine, you would like to install Chrome browser. How do you install it? Just download the exe file and install it. But here, as a command prompt, you cannot download the exe files. Then how do you install any third-party tools on a particular machine? For this, we do have the open source utilities. For the open source utilities are different based on, it will change based on your operating system. When you use the CentOS, the open source utility is a YUM. When you talk about Ubuntu, it is apt-get. Just like Windows also has some open source utility that is called a Chaco. So these are the three mainly used open source utilities to install any third party tools. Okay, so these are all very important when we talk about going for the future classes. So let's talk about how it works to install any you install any third party tools. So when you say Ubuntu only use the utility apt-get. If it is a CentOS, it is a YUM. Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah. As Prashant said, if you want to install anything in CentOS machine, we need to use the M. If you want to update also, M update. If you want to list the packages, just click on the so if you want to click M update, it will update all the packages whatever you installed as of now. If you don't want to update all the packages, I just installed Java some tool. I want to update only that particular tool. Then just give the M update name of the particular package. Okay, M update means it will update all. It will take some time, so I don't want to execute this command now. M update. Likewise, if you want to install anything, M install. So let me install Maven. Okay, so in this machine already I have the Git. I don't want to this Git. I just want to remove this Git. Just M remove Git. It will remove the Git package. So while removing the Git, it will says about what are the dependencies for this package, what are the dependency package it has been installed, and what are the running packages or there. This so it has been removed. Just check with the git -- version. So there is no such file or directory. There is no. I just want to install the Git. M install Git. if you didn't mention any version, I mean, Git has different kinds of version. Presently, it has 1.8. If you did not mention any version, then it will directly take the latest version of the package. If you mention some particular version, just give like an install. Yeah.
So if it doesn't give the any tag, let's assume that you would like to install a particular version which is suitable for your requirement, you can give the tag git colon, can give the tag of it. So if it doesn't mention any tag, by defaultly it will download the latest version of the particular tool.
So now Git has been installed. Just go and check git icon version. So simple, like Git has been installed. But in Windows, if you want to install something else, we need, by executing just one command, we install the whatever package we need. Correct. But in Windows, we need to install, and we have to run that package. And first of all, we have to download that. Okay. So the beauty of the Linux is that by just executing simple commands, we will we can do whatever we want. So where I am into the Docker or root user. So if you want to exit switches from user to user, we are just using the su command. I just want to go back to my previous user by just simply exit, by using exit command. I'm back to the previous user. So now where I am to, I'm into the Docker user. Okay. So if you create any users, those users will create those users automatically create a same group. Those groups are created under the home directory. So as of just now, we created a Azure DevOps, right? Here is the Azure DevOps. Just now it has been created on December 31st, 2:38. If you want to know the time, date to now it is December 31st, 2:54. Just now we created the Azure DevOps user. So it will this is the Azure DevOps is the user, and Azure DevOps is the group of these users. Got it? Likewise, we have different users: Docker, Prashant, Spotless. These three users are we have, and by default it has the root user. Root user home folder is the /root. Okay. So here we have the 3 users, and the 3 user belongs to directories. Okay. Here we have total 4. Here we have total 3 users, along with their size. This is tell us size of the directory or file, and this is the time when it was created, and these 2 belongs to. So which user this directory has been belongs to? First one is the user. This is the user of the folder, and the second one is the group of the folder. Okay. I don't want to Azure DevOps group. If I want to change some other group, we can change. If you want to change user of the folder, I mean, this particular folder have the permissions to only Azure DevOps and Azure DevOps groups. I don't want to this. I want to execute. I don't want to execute even Azure DevOps group also, Azure DevOps users also. I want to have the permission only for the Docker or only for the root. Those we can change by using the chown command.
This one is nothing but change one.
Yeah, and also here these permissions will tell us this is the directory which has read, write, and execute permissions. Means which one has only user. User means what is the user of this folder? Azure DevOps. Only Azure this directory have the permission only for the Azure DevOps user have the all permissions. So basically we have the three type of permissions: read, write, and execute permissions. Okay.
The permission will be treated as a 7 in the Linux. For the read is a 4. Okay, write 2 and execute. So if you want to give the only read operation to the particular user, you can give the 4. If you want to give the only write permission,
yeah, or else we can give. Yeah, these are the numerical permissions. These are the normal alphabet. We can change permissions through both ways. We can change through alphabetical order or numerical. Alphanumerical. We can change either of the way. Okay, like that we have the. So I don't want to change. I want to be as the Azure DevOps engineer, Azure DevOps user, but I just want to execute. I just want to. I have some other folders inside this directory, but this folder have the permission only for the Azure DevOps user, whether it may be read, write, or execute. I don't want that. I just want, without changing the group or user permission, I just want to give the inside these files or folders. I just want to give the Docker or other users. I just want to give the read and write permissions, no execution permissions. Then those we can do. Here we have the read write for only users. Like we have users and groups and others. Users means which user this directory belongs to, means Azure DevOps. Group means this group. We can change by group by changing the group ID. That group have the permissions. What are the permissions those groups have? And also others means any other rather than any other. Irrespective of Azure DevOps, other users have the whatever permissions. As of now, only user have the read, write, execution permissions. If I want to change others also, we can change. If you want to give other groups also, we can give. So, if you want to change the file permissions, read, write, execution permission, we have to use the chmod command. Chmod, user, group, others, plus file, whatever this whatever directory we have. So Azure DevOps. So every time it's a difficult. So user means if you want to give the full permissions to user, we have the full permissions means read 4, write 2, execution 1. 4 plus 2 plus 1 is the 7. So if we want to give complete permission to the user, then we have to use the chmod 7. If you want to give group for only execute only write permissions, then 2. So user have complete permissions, group have only write permissions, and others I want to give the only read permissions. Then name of the directory or file. Got it? Like that, if you want to give complete permissions to all chmod 777, it will give all permissions to all, means user, group, others. It will give all the permissions. So if I give only Azure DevOps, it will change the permissions to only that directory. But inside the let's assume. So here Docker, here my user, just look at, see here read, write, execute. User Docker have all permissions, and Docker group has the all permissions, and others have only read and execution permissions, no write permissions. Let me switch to Azure DevOps. CD home. It will say permission denied. Why? Because this folder have the only Docker user and Docker group have the permissions. But if you want to switch or if you want to do anything through the root, we can do all. It's like it's a administrator, right? So if you want to change any permissions, just use the sudo or root. Oh, command also. So let me create a one file. Just 1 second. So for this, I have changed group of the folder. Why I am unable to switch through. Why I am unable to access through the Azure DevOps, because the folder, the Docker itself doesn't have the Azure DevOps permissions. I just gave only for the this inside the folder. Now give permissions to this Docker Azure. Oh, we can change only through the root user. So have to give the sudo. Okay. So I gave just now I changed the permissions to the group to the Azure DevOps, but still I am unable to get into the directory. Why? Because this folder have the permissions only read, write, execution permission only for the user, not for the group, not for the others. Clear?
Yes.
So if I want to if I want to get into that the directory, I have to give the permissions to group as well. Here my group is the Azure DevOps group. So if I want to change the permission, chmod 7 is for the already, it has already 7 permissions. You can, if you don't want to change, just give the 0. It will retrain the no, 7. 0 means it will remove all the permissions. 7, and for group, I want to give all permissions to for group as well, and I don't want to give others no permissions. -r means it will change. We'll tell you later. So name of the directory. What is that? We have to sudo chmod 770 docker. Sorry. Yeah. Sudo docker. Okay. Yeah. Now it has the permission user as a docker as a all read, write, execution permissions, and group Azure DevOps group also have the all permissions. Others don't have the others means other than Azure DevOps, other than that, there is one more user called Prashant. Prashant Spotless doesn't have the any permissions. So let now my screen. Who am I? I'm into the Azure DevOps. So let me try to switch Docker. Now I am able to. Clear, guys? So let me try to switch to Prashant directory. It won't, I don't have the permissions to Prashant directory. Why? Because I am not belongs to Azure DevOps directory, and I'm not. This directory does not have the others access permissions. So without changing the group or user of the directory, I just want to switch to that. I just want to access that folder. I mean, I want to access the Prashant Spotless folder. We can do in that way also. We have sudo. How we can change the file folder permission? Chmod 777 means I'm giving all permissions to that folder. I want to change inside the folder. I mean, so let's go to the Docker folder. So I'm into Docker folder, right? Here I get here so here. So my Docker folder has the read write execution permission for user group, all permissions, and others don't have any permissions, and which is belongs to Docker, which is belongs to Docker user, and which is belongs to Azure DevOps group. But inside, go to the Docker folder. Inside I have some other folders, correct? So those belongs to Docker user only and Docker group only. I have changed my permissions only for this topmost of the folder, not inside the folders. Inside we have subfolders, and inside subfolders we have some files. If you want to change inside the subfolders, we should have to give the chmod what are the permissions you want to change, and -r, capital R. Capital R will change all the permissions recursively. Recursively means inside the directories, inside the subdirectories, inside the files, recursively it will change up to the level. Okay, let me change for the Prashant folder. So here we have a Prashant Spark folder. I don't want to change the group or user of the permissions. I just want to give the others. Others means now I am into the Azure DevOps user. So I want to give the all permissions to Azure DevOps other users. So chmod 777. I want to change inside. First, let me get into this Prashant Sportlist. Oh, I don't have the permission. Okay. So I want to change inside the directories as well. Inside the directories, I want to change all the permissions inside the directories as well. So chmod -777 -r sudo chmod. Okay. So just look at this. So Prashant Spotless have all the permissions. Let me switch to directory. Now I am able to switch. Okay, let me check the permissions. So inside this there is no files and directories. If clear, guys?
Yeah.
As of now?
Yeah.
Okay. So like that we can change the permissions. If you want to change the group or user ownership, just by using the chown command. If you want to change the file or directory permissions, add or read, write, execute permissions, we are using by executing the chmod. Only two commands, chown and chmod. Chown is for the user or group ownership permissions. Okay, and chmod for the read, write, execute file or directory permissions. Like that we can do. So clear as of now. Like if you want to change any of the file or group permissions, we can change by using the chown. And by executing chmod, we can give or we can also remove the permissions. Like so, as of now, Prashant has the Prashant Sportlist have the 777. I don't want to 777. I just want to give 755. I'm just removing the permissions. not checkout. So the permissions have been read permission and read and write permissions have been removed for the user groups and others. So like that we can remove as well. And if you want to create, now I'm going to tell you, if you want to create any folder, or if you want to any folder means directory, if you want to create any files, what are the commands? So if you want to create any folder, any folders or directory, if you want to create a directory, is a command mkdir. Mkdir means make directory. I'm into the Azure DevOps directory. I don't have anything in this directory. I just want to create a one folder, one directory. Then I'll give mkdir, name of the directory, whatever we want to create, test directory. So let's ls. There is a directory created with the name of test. If I want to switch to that directory, if I want to move to that directory, just give the cd space test. I'm into that directory. If I want to create any files, then touch file name. It will create a file. Clear? If you want to create a file through Vim, we can do it. Vim, but it will create the file and it will take you into the edit mode. If I want to enter and say escape : WQ, we have two files. One is file, another one is file2. So like we have a different touch file. If you want to open that, see that file, we have the command file cat. It will display the content of the file. Like we have more also. It will listen. It's a different kinds of editors. Clear, guys?
Okay.
So, and like this, one more important command is the find. I don't know where that file or where the directory is. I just want to find, just know the only name of the. I just know the name of the directory or file. I just want to find the location of the directory. Then find name of the directory. Azure DevOps. So why I gave slash means it will check all the directories. If you want to check only particular directory, you can give the find slash direct name of the directory. It will check only inside that particular directory. If I give slash means it will check entire hierarchy. So why it is giving permission denied? Because we don't have the permissions to all the directories. I'm into the Azure box. See, look at here. Inside home, we have the Azure DevOps directory. Or else we can give find slash home. No, find slash home. Name. Just now I created test directory, right? Let me clear. So inside home Azure DevOps test, there is a directory. So we have, let me. So inside home and Azure DevOps, we have a test directory. If you want to check, just go to the directory. Here we have the directory. Like that we can find any folders, any files, and also we can grep particular line inside the file as well by using the find and grep command. Okay, that's it, Prashant.
Okay. Good. Thanks. So these are all the regular commands which we do use for on a daily basis. So this session will help you in the next coming classes while we talk about the Docker, while we talk about the Git, all this. This is the regular commands we will use. Okay, do practice it, and I will send you the cheat sheet. This which give you all the commands, very basic commands which we do use on regular basis. Okay, so we'll meet on. So అందరూ అవైలబిలిటీలోనే ఉంటారా టుమారో?
హలో హలో అన్న
చెప్పండి.
హలో అన్న శేఖర్ అన్న.
శేఖర్
అన్న నిన్న కొన్ని క్వశ్చన్స్ ఇచ్చారు కదా, ప్లస్ అది అర్థం కావట్లేదు అన్న. గూగుల్లో సెర్చ్ చేస్తే ద డిఫరెన్స్ బిట్వీన్ బ్యాలెన్సెస్ అండ్ హౌ టు మళ్ళీ సెపరేట్ కాల్ చేయమంటారన్న? ఓకే, ఎన్ని గంటలకు చేయమంటారన్న? అట్లా 10కి 11కి అట్లా. ఓకే.
Okay, so we'll meet on second Thursday. We'll start the PowerShell. Okay, so just we'll start the session from the very basics of the PowerShell, and it will the next 6 to 8 classes will be completely automated. PowerShell, ARM template, and Terraform. ARM templates, JSON script. Okay, see you guys on Thursday. Okay, second. You might Linux expert, but they don't explain your